Hello everyone, and welcome to today's talk about the successful cloud-native story of Kärcher. My name is Timo. I'm a project manager for migration and modernization projects at Zoe. And today I will give you in the beginning a short introduction into Kärcher. I assume many of you already know the company, but I will give some words about it. Afterwards, we will have a deep dive into how to digitally transform an enterprise, how we have done it together with Kärcher. And in the end, there will be a deep dive into the cloud journey of Kärcher, which started in the year 2012 and further progressed over time. So, Kärcher is a manufacturer of cleaning devices and cleaning solutions and was founded in the year 1935 by Alfred and Irene Kärcher in Stuttgart, so in southern Germany. The company is still family owned in the third generation, and there's still DNA of the family in the company by being innovative and constantly working on new solutions. Overall, the company has a revenue of a bit more than 3 billion euro and more than 16,000 employees. I assume the picture on the right you have already seen over time, because this is one of the stores from Kärcher, more than 900 Kärcher stores worldwide. And on the left side, you can see that Kärcher manufactures in 18 production sites around the world, with the idea to always be in touch with the customers and to tailor the products to the specific needs of a market or a region. And now the last part about the company itself, so about the products. You can see on the left side is more the products for the people at home, like you and me. And on the right side is their professional businesses with customers like supermarkets, hotels or airports. What you can see on the top left is that Kärcher has a lot of connected products. Maybe you already experienced that by yourself. And by that, the company is able to, on the one side, offer new business models and new digital solutions. And on the other side, Kärcher is able to collect a lot of data to use it to further improve the products and to tailor it to the specific needs of the customers. Having said that, now let's come to the question on how to digitally transform an enterprise. And one question the people at Kärcher and also we at Zoe ask ourselves is, what if? What if Kärcher is rebuilt on greenfield? What if there are no legacy systems and no legacy infrastructure? To answer that question, some market research was done and it was also shown how startups are doing it. And based on those research, the IT strategy and the IT tactic was derived from. And we will also see then later in the cloud journey what the specific measures are on how to build Kärcher on greenfield. But to answer the initially stated question on how to digitally transform an enterprise, one overview we have created together with Kärcher is that House of Digital Transformation, which definitely shows that in the technology is definitely an important part with which you need to lay the foundation for your digital transformation. But besides the technology, it's also important to have the processes adjusted and also the people taken along with you in order to reveal the full potential. So in the end, Zoe and Kärcher came to the point that it's the combination and the interaction between technology with the cloud, the processes and the culture and the people to make it successful. And now, in the following, we will dive into each of those levels of the house. And the first one, it's about the technology, the public cloud, when it comes to adopting AWS. And one sketch we had here is definitely the big advantages, which we also experience at Kärcher, that definitely go along. So just to pick 3 of them, first one is definitely growth. We have seen over the cloud journey of Kärcher that by being flexible and that the cloud definitely supports the growth of a company when it's about new business models, new digital solutions, but also improved processes. Second aspect is about the cost. With the cloud, you trade the fixed cost against the variable costs, so you only need to pay for what you actually use as a service and application. One example we also had here at Kärcher was definitely the inventory application. So it's mainly used 5 days a year at the end of the year, but all the other 360 days you don't need the application. Therefore, you also don't need to pay for it, because you can easily shut it down. And the third one is definitely innovation, which was a really important part for Kärcher. Because the cloud enables you to try out new things, new AI services, for instance, to create a sandbox account, to try out, to learn, and then to either implement it or take your learnings with you. Having said that, let's come to the processes. And here especially to the point on how to deal with future applications and also with legacy ones. So since 2016, it was clear for Kärcher that all new applications will naturally build within the cloud. And, but also there needed to be in perspective for the legacy infrastructure and legacy applications. And here comes the part with the dark blue into play, because those applications over time needed to be migrated and modernized in order to increase the footprint at Kärcher. Only by combining going directly into the cloud and cloud native with new applications, together with migrating and modernizing the already existing ones, leads to the fact that your cloud footprint increases over time with a high percentage. Because average companies have an average of 3% to 5% of migration modernization over the time or per year, and therefore this takes really long to get a high degree of cloud footprint. And now, as I said, there's also a third component, namely the people. The culture you need to adjust to reveal the full potential of the technology. And here you might probably know that change management curve of Kübler-Ross, which actually just demonstrates that people are going through an emotional transition when change happens. And this we also experience when introducing the cloud and new applications. But the key is definitely to go through the first phases pretty fast and enable the people, the employees, by training, by guidance, by making aware what the company is doing to reach the 4th, the 5th, the 6th phase even faster, to have the full potential of the technology. So now we went through all the 3 levels of the house of digital transformation at Kärcher. And now we will have a look at how Kärcher has applied that over the last 12 to 13 years. So when talking about the cloud move at Kärcher, we need to go back a long time ago, where there was no AWS region available in Germany, and people used to use e-commerce more often. At that point in time, Kärcher noticed that the user experience of their website and their online shop is not the best, and it's also not that scalable. And therefore, the company was looking for a solution in order to improve that, and found that cloud of AWS definitely supports in providing a scalable solution and also provides a better user experience. So that was the start when the website and the online shop were migrated to AWS. But then, as you can see, in the year 2013, there was again a next milestone when it came to the equipment of the professional devices with IoT gateways. Because by that, Kärcher was able to make out of a normal device an IoT device, and therefore collect a lot of data. On the one side, to provide new digital solutions to its customers, and on the other side, to also tailor the products to the specific needs, to really understand what the customers want, how the products are used, and then to improve the products accordingly. Then a few years later, in 2016, I've mentioned it a bit earlier, the cloud native or cloud first strategy was decided on at Kärcher. And it was clear that from then onwards, every new application that is built will be directly built in the cloud. Then, I already mentioned, migration and modernization is an important part also in the cloud journey of Kärcher. And here, 2019, all the on-premise non-SAP applications were migrated. And because it was a tough timeline, because Kärcher needed to move out of their co-location, within only 7 months, around 120 applications were migrated to AWS. And of course, this was a lot of effort. There was a lot of migration, lift and shift, re-architecture, retirement of some applications needed. But in the end, it really paid off and saved around 20% of the costs for Kärcher. Then the same was done in the year 2023, but now for the SAP applications. So all of the SAP applications were then migrated to AWS. Already, so there was a timeline, also a tough timeline this time, but now with all the experience and the learnings Kärcher had, it was done much faster. So there we were 6 months before the actual planned end of the project. And now comes in 2023. For Kärcher, it was clear that they also need to build up a new production site in Vietnam. But there were several challenges at that point in time. The first one is that at that point, SAP was not available in Vietnam, first point. Second, there were still issues when getting hardware components due to the supply chain and interruptions of it. Therefore, at Kärcher, it was supposed to propose to the management board to build up a cloud-native factory in Vietnam. And with that, they already knew that this will be the newest and most modern application factory within the company. And when proposing this to the board, they actually answered, of course, why not? And this definitely shows that the culture and also the mindset at Kärcher evolved over time and is now at a point that cloud-first strategy is actually something that is normal for a company. So when doing that, and the project was successfully done beginning of 2024, what does it mean now? On the one side, of course, it's the most modern plant within the Kärcher group. But on the other side, Kärcher eliminated 100% of its maintenance costs and infrastructure for the plant in Vietnam. And for that, they got maximum flexibility and scalability within the production site. So in the end, that definitely showed that going all into the cloud, going all into AWS, you don't need to do compromises when it comes to the performance. And this is a perfect example how Kärcher has done that in Vietnam. So that's the end of the, it's not the end, but that's the current status of the cloud journey of Kärcher. And with that, Kärcher has a cloud footprint of around 95% across the whole IT applications, IT landscape worldwide. Considering that an average or company has an average of around 14 to 20% of cloud footprint, this is really unique and makes the whole cloud journey of Kärcher really special. Now that's the end of my presentation already. I hope it was some interesting parts and learnings, and of course I'm open to questions in case you have some. Thank you very much.